All right, it's Monday. Monday morning, the last day. Tomorrow is the day. The voting. And I think people done already made up their minds. I know Trump said he was pushing in North Carolina, or was it South Carolina? Something I heard on the radio this morning. I'm like, maybe he should have went back to Pennsylvania. I mean, there's a lot of electoral votes there. And just really focus on that state. I don't know. But, yeah, and I heard a poll that the early voting, a lot of people have early voted and that Democrats were a little ahead. But don't let none of this deter you. Don't sit back and go, oh, well, maybe it's already a done deal or the cat's in the bag and everything's already preordained. Or whatever, that the powers that be know who's going to get elected. No, get off your butt and go vote. Especially you Christians, get off your butt and go vote. Now, I'm doing this video out of pure entertainment. This is a debate for the 2nd Congressional District. They're in New Hampshire, right? And somebody shared a clip of this debate with me last night, and I was like, oh my goodness, please send me the original. So, because I was like, this is just pure gold. You have Maggie Goldlander. I apologize. Goldlander. She is a liberal Democrat, and she is debating Lily Tang Williams, who is a conservative Republican. And what's making this interesting, too, is it makes it entertaining, okay? I mean, politics is bad enough, but we need to be entertained as well, right? Okay, so Lily Williams is from communist China. So she came over years ago when she was younger and studying in college and all of this, and she became very political. She knows a little something about living in communism. But look, we're gonna watch this and watch the sparks fly. Now, there's a part 1 and part 2. So let's get through part 1. And look, guys, this is gold. Now, make sure you guys get out and vote tomorrow, by the way. But let's enjoy this debate. And I hope Miss Lily Tang Williams has swayed New Hampshire, which I would assume they're all a bunch of libtards over there. But come on, this is just pure gold. Okay, let's check this out.
Thank you for joining us for the Granite State Debates. I'm WMUR Political Director Adam Sexton. Tonight we're joined by the nominees for the 2nd Congressional District, Democrat Maggie Goodlander and Republican Lily Tang Williams. They'll be answering questions from me and from our panelists. Those panelists tonight are WMUR anchors Ariel Metropolis and Steve Botari. Each candidate will get up to 60 seconds to answer a question. They'll have 30 seconds for a rebuttal if necessary. Those will be granted at my discretion. Each candidate will also get 60 seconds at the end of the hour to make a closing statement. Let's get right to the questions now, starting with Steve Botari.
Adam, thank you. Candidates, good evening. Tonight we will get to the topics that are on Granite Staters' mind, from abortion to the border to the cost of living. But we begin here tonight with the connections to the 2nd District. Ms. Goodlander, your residency has become a topic in this campaign. You rented an apartment in Nashua. You called yourself a renter, despite also owning a $1.2 million home in Portsmouth, part of New Hampshire's 1st district. Your opponent has tried to say your ties are actually to Washington, D.C. So here tonight, do you commit to owning a home in the 2nd district? And how many days a year are you promising to spend in the district?
Okay, right out the gate. That's hilarious. I know I got a weird sense of humor, but she goes and rents an apartment and claims that she's a renter. She's feeling the people's pain, but yet she owns a $1 million home. Okay? Right out the gate. I'm dying. I mean, these liberals want to make you think that they're so in touch with the common folk. She owns $1 million home. All right, let's see what she has to say. Like, why did she go rent that house, rent that apartment? Oh my God. Here we go.
Well, first of all, I want to wish everyone who's watching tonight and all of you a very happy Halloween. And thank you to WMUR for hosting us for this important debate tonight. You know, I am a proud fourth generation New Hampshire girl. I was born and raised in Nashua, right down the road from the farm that my great-grandfather built when he came to this country more than a century ago. New Hampshire made me who I am today. I learned some of the most important things in my life at Birch Hill Elementary School. I became a lawyer here, really in family court in New Hampshire, and drug court, and fighting for voting rights. And I've taught the next generation constitutional law at UNH Law School and at Dartmouth, both in the district. Today, from my living room in Nashua, I can see the shoe factory where my great-grandfather worked, and I can also see the hospital where I was born on Election Day. So I live in the 2nd District. The 2nd District made me who I am today, and I'm so honored to be in this race, and it would be the honor of my lifetime to represent the 2nd District in the People's House.
Thank you. And to the question that was asked here.
Yeah. Wait a minute. She's white privilege. And she didn't answer the question. She's taking playbooks right from Kamala Harris. I'm glad he's like, hey, to the point of the question. Like, here we go.
Do you commit to owning a home in the 2nd District, and how many days a year are you promising to be in the district?
Steve, as I said, this is the place that made me who I am, and this job is about both serving the people of the 2nd District in the People's House, so that it's that work, but what draws me to this work really is that this is an advocacy job that requires you to really be on the ground. And we've been running an old school New Hampshire campaign that's taken us all throughout the district, really every corner of the district, and that is what I will do if I am lucky enough to earn the trust of the people of this district and represent you in Congress.
So is that a commitment to own a home in the district?
Yes, absolutely. I live here today, Steve.
Thank you. Ms. Tang Williams, you've run for office in various forms for the better part of a decade, including as a libertarian, first in Colorado at the State House level, then the U.S. Senate there in Colorado, and then here in New Hampshire for Congress in 2022, and now again this year. How do you respond to critics that you moved to New Hampshire for a political win?
Well, thank you for hosting this debate. I wish we had more debates like this, but unfortunately, this is only second debate, but also last debate between me and Maggie. She refused 3 college debates. It's unfortunate because I would love to take questions from our youth voters and college students. It's their future they're voting for. And people might not know, since I become an American citizen 30 years ago, I joined the Republican Party. I was there for 13 years. And because they left me 2008, and I put the principle over the party, and I left. And the Libertarian Party in Colorado, which is the birth state of the Libertarian Party, they asked me to run for them. Just simply tell my stories, be a line holder. That's what I did. And I found out I was not effective because I could not get into debate like this, which is my dream coming true today, being here to debate my opponent and everybody who watch it. I always put my principle over the party and put the country over the party. I'm independent-minded.
Yeah, because it's hard for a libertarian to get in. Look, I know we hate it. It's just a 2-party system. So I understand what she means, that she couldn't even get a debate. You know, you got to be one or the other, a Democrat or a Republican. It's pathetic, I know.
What about the critiques that you moved from Colorado to New Hampshire simply to try to win political office?
Well, those people say whatever they want. I always tell people I have been consistent for the past 12 years. The only reason I got into politics because I see the country is moved down wrong direction. I have a freedom to decide whatever I want to do, whatever I want to run. I take a personal risks by running for office in this country. Get on CCP's blacklist, cannot see your family for your past 9 years, and let the people to judge. Do you need a courageous woman like this in D.C. to fight for American ideals and values, or you just want to attack me because I keep running for office, because our country is going down wrong direction? That's why I'm running.
Next question from...
Okay, so I'm already detecting that the panel asking the questions, they're liberals. Because they didn't follow up on her, on Maggie, by like why you have $1 million home, but you live in an apartment, and you telling the people that you a renter. And he didn't come back. I thought he did a minute ago when he asked her again, but she still danced and dodged and gave a word salad. But here we go.
From Ariel Metropolis.
Thank you, Adam. Right now, so many people are frustrated by the cost of daily life. Ms. Tong-Williams, to you first. You've blamed inflation on federal spending, but actually getting Congress to agree on the types of cuts that would help would likely take a very long time. So, day one in Congress, what's a bill that you could propose to quickly cut costs for Granite Staters?
Number one, we need to freeze all federal hirings. Our federal government is not affordable. The budget is huge. We are $35 trillion in debt. But Democrats, including my opponent, blame on corporations for high inflation. Only in Washington, D.C., the government can print unlimited money and borrow in order to pay, to cover their pet project, their priorities. But on the back of regular working class families and fixed income seniors and the small business people. When they flood market with tons of printed money, that's how you cause inflation. It's not corporation, it's simple economics 101. I think all the politicians who don't understand that, they should go back to economics 101 schools to learn who caused high inflation. It's not the private sector, it's always the federal government who can print money. If you and I print money, we go to jail. So that's the worst situation. So I like to stop that. I like to get people together to talk about what we can do in order to cut down out of control government spending.
Ms. Goodlander, to you.
Oh, man. She said they need to just go back to school and learn about economics. That right there was fire gold. I mean, that was fabulous. Guys, come on. That was awesome. She goes, it's them. It's not the private sector. It's not the corporations. It's them printing money. We'd go to jail if we kept printing money. That was gold. Here we go. Here we go.
You next. You've said that corporate monopolies are jacking up costs for Granite Staters and that reforming antitrust and consumer protection laws will help with that. But again, moving the needle in Congress to change that can take time. What's the fastest way to get people relief quickly?
Well, thanks. This is such an important question. People are feeling the pain of high prices right now here in New Hampshire, whether it's the cost of housing, the cost of health care, the cost of prescription drugs, all across the board. And we could take an hour to talk about each of these areas and what could be done to lower costs. There is no silver bullet here. But what I can promise you and the viewers tonight is that I will do everything in my power and fight with everything I've got to lower costs. You mentioned corporate monopolies, and what I saw on the front lines of the fight against one of the drivers of high costs serving at the Department of Justice was that we have antitrust and consumer protection laws that have been on the books for over a century. These are laws that are rooted in deeply American ideas, that no corporation is above the law. And one of the things, Ariel, that's really exciting about this area is it does get a lot of bipartisan support. We saw support from across the ideological spectrum to advance really important and basic reforms to our antitrust and consumer protection laws that will make a difference for hardworking Granite Staters who are feeling pain.
Candidates, go ahead, Lily.
Sorry.
Well, look, I mean, Lily just said we need to freeze having people come into the government because they're getting too bloated, which was gold. I'm sorry, Maggie, but you're just word salad crap. It's the same old crap that you've been spewing, that your party's been spewing for decades.
Here you are again, Maggie. It's caused by federal government. You are part of a Biden administration who causes high inflation. I heard people who are in my district complaining about high cost everything, but you don't have solutions. You're just repeating DNC talking points. Do you have independent thinking skill? Or you need to go to business school to study economics 101, who actually caused inflation? It's a federal government printing money. It's $1 is devalued to 70 cents, or maybe later go to 50 cents. That's why people are buying other things rather than continue to use fiat money. They're buying gold, buying silver, buying crypto because they say US dollar is going down. You
Lily,
don't
give her a
understand
chance.
that.
Give her a chance to respond.
Well, respectfully, look,
Oh my God. She said, you don't know. You don't know economics 101, basically. Use ignorant. Oh my God. I wish more politicians talk like Lily here. That's just, oh my God. I'm loving her. Oh man. Let's see what Maggie has to say. And she's so calm. Oh, but I do have an education. Oh my God.
I think this is an area where my opponent and I have very different views of what should be done to make life less hard for hardworking
Obviously.
people in the state. One of the most important things that the next Congress will take up is a question of what to do about tax fairness in this country. One of the reasons that we find ourselves in this predicament is because Donald Trump decided to advance a tax policy that was really dedicated to a basic idea, to giving a big break to the wealthiest in this country and to the biggest corporations. This is a worldview that my opponent has embraced. She believes that we should give a break to the wealthiest and the biggest corporations and hope for the best, hope that the results will trickle down to hardworking people. I take a very different approach. I believe that the middle class deserves a tax cut, and I believe that we will do a lot for this country by ensuring that we don't continue this disastrous tax policy.
Ms. Tang Williams.
Oh, look, we had 4 years of proven leadership with Donald Trump, whether you like him or not. We were prosperous, and the tax cuts for the wealthy worked. They worked. Man, they cannot seem to run on a Biden-Harris economy. They have to go back and ditch on Trump, but do they think we're all that stupid? A lot of us are, the ones who are voting for Kamala Harris. I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, I said it. All right, come on, Lily. Get her.
You are wealthy. You are worth $20 million to $30 million. How do you know about regular people suffering? Do you go shopping, go to Walmart, buy food? I talk to those people. And you pretend to be renter in Nashua a few months ago, moved back to run for this open seat with millions of dollars from Washington, D.C. insiders. And the millions of dollars. I don't have money to run a TV ad. And you pretend you are poor, complain rent is so high. You couldn't save that apartment for other people to rent in Nashua. Just go back to your $2 million home in Portsmouth. Please don't say that, because you do not understand regular people's concern. People cry in my arms on District 2.
Maggie.
Oh, burn. Oh my gosh. You live in a $2 million house. You rent an apartment. You don't even know about what the poor people. Oh man, would she fire? Damn. Oh my God. Guys. Man, she is tearing into her. And this is pure gold.
You know, this is such an important issue. You're focused on me. I am focused on the voters and on the issues that matter to them. And high cost is something that, like I said, I'm going to fight with everything I've got to reduce the pain that people are feeling all across this district. But I would just say, you know, one of the things I learned from my family growing up here in New Hampshire, and this is the state that made me who I am today, is that you pay it forward, you give back. And I've dedicated my life to serving our state and our country. I've done it in the Navy, I've done it at the Justice Department, I've done it at the White House. And it would be the honor of my lifetime to do the same thing, to serve another oath of office to our Constitution, which I love so much, on behalf of this district.
Let's keep talking about the cost of living and an expense that a lot of families are struggling with these days. That's the high cost of childcare. A report from the organization Child Care Aware shows that Granite Staters who have an infant at a child care center, along with a toddler there at the same time, are paying about $32,000 a year. Now, there have been tax credit proposals and hiring incentives, but can you pledge tonight to do something dramatic to really make childcare accessible to mass numbers of families, Ms. Goodlander?
Look, this is such an important issue, Adam. I hear about it everywhere I go. I was in Concord listening to families who are feeling a lot of pain in this area right now. Look, we have to make childcare more affordable and more accessible to people across this state. It's a workforce development issue at its bottom. So number one, you're right, the costs are way too high. You know, for families around the state, most of them find themselves in a child care desert. Almost half the people in the state are not in the vicinity of a child care provider. So we've got to bring more providers into the state, which goes to housing, which I hope is something we'll have a chance to talk about. But we've got to incentivize employers to help bring people back into the workforce who have been unable to go back to work because they've had to make the painful choice of either staying at home and caring for their kids or going back to work. And I've talked to so many, especially women around the state, who are feeling the brunt of the pain of this problem, who have had to make a heartbreaking choice that they cannot afford to go back to work. So I do believe this is an area where Congress has got to really dig in. And I'm encouraged to see that there are bipartisan solutions. Senator Michael Bennet has proposed a bipartisan bill together with Republican senators who, you know, Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee, who he's probably never worked with before. So this is an encouraging area of bipartisan cooperation.
Ms. Tang Williams.
That's just a bunch of gobbledygook. That is a bunch of gobbledygook. If the Democrats cared about America, they'd be winning in a landslide right now. But this is a dumpster fire. Groceries are through the roof. Of course they're not going to be able to afford child care because they're paying for gas, paying high outrageous prices. I mean, everything's gone up 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50% under this administration. She didn't tell us nothing. That they're going to pass a bipartisan bill. Okay, we need another bill.
Should Congress do something dramatic to lower the cost of child care?
I don't know what that dramatic means. When government prints money, drive up a cost of energies, food, and labor cost goes up. Then unnecessary regulations make lots of people who want to maybe take care of children also have to go through the red tapes. When government creates a problem, then they blame on other things. Then they offer bigger government solutions to give you more printed money, then inflation goes up some more. It's a vicious circle. We need to bring down inflation. That will drive the labor costs going down. And when we look at our spending priorities and what is the reason we come together, we need to put our people first. But don't forget, we sent $175 billion to Ukraine. $175 billion. Every Democrat in U.S. House voted for it and waved Ukrainian flag where our people, our veterans, our mom, dad cannot afford simple daily costs like that. And the mainstream media don't report that. And I need to tell you the truth. Who is going to put the people's interests first?
Ms. Tang Williams, that's time. Next question.
Booyah! Booyah! She is pure gold. This was done like 3 days ago. This debate. I hope she wins. New Hampshire, you're out. If anybody's watching this, you need to go vote for her. She has got you in her. She has the people in her interest. And she's like, the government is too bloated. They're spending too much money, sending it to other countries.
Question from
Ms. Tang Williams, in 2016, when you were running for U.S. Senate in Colorado, you told Colorado Public Radio at the time that Medicare and Social Security should be returned to their roots as a safety net for the poor and the disadvantaged in our country, not a guaranteed retirement plan. Could you explain your position on Social Security, who should receive it, what age they should get it, and what should happen to the folks entering now should this be a public option for those entering the workplace?
Well, that's what I learned after I come to this country. Where did the Social Security come from? When was it created? And I did some research with my husband's help. It's supposed to be providing insurance for the people and later, for their older years. But then it got bigger and bigger, and everybody trying to use it as a political slush fund. And there's no lockbox, there's no trust fund. That's why we'll talk about today, that money is going to be running out. So it got bigger and bigger, and they have more and more people get on it. And even some programs that they're trying to get illegal immigrants who come here, if you give them a pathway to green card citizenship, they can get on that too. So there's no trust fund, and it's just political slush fund. I want to protect that for our seniors. It's earned benefits. That's not money that the federal government should not touch with, should not play with.
So please be.
Booyah! Booyah! I understood that perfectly clear. The government shouldn't use it as a slush fund. It should be protected in a lockbox, so it is guaranteed for you. I think it's just a Ponzi scheme.
Be clear, who should receive Social Security?
People who pay into the system all their lives, and they should have guaranteed benefits today, but not. If you're not American citizen, you never pay into the system, then you should not come in to share that pie, piece of pie. That's what I truly believe. I have lots of people who tell me that they are living on fixed income. They are really suffering right now.
Thank you. Ms. Goodlander, the Social Security Administration has warned in very blunt terms the program is not financially sustainable in its current form, they write. This warning has been repeated for years, and at this point now there is a critical deadline on the calendar for when beneficiaries actually start seeing smaller checks. If you believe the program should continue, what action does Congress need to take to ensure that the checks continue in their full form?
I do believe that we must protect Social Security and strengthen it. And this is, to me, this is a big difference between the two of us and a really important issue in this election. I believe that Social Security is a bedrock promise. This is a program that hardworking seniors have paid into their entire lives. We have a lot of public policy problems in this country that have complex solutions. For this one, a simple principle really guides me in how I think about it. I believe that the basic American principle that everyone should pay their fair share, including and especially the wealthiest among us, is the path to ensuring the solvency of Social Security. But I just want to point out what we've heard. My opponent, when she was a candidate for Congress in Colorado, said three things that should give us all pause, all of the viewers tonight. Number one, she said that the United States Constitution is best read to suggest that programs that aren't explicitly in the Constitution, it's ideally best if we don't have a government that includes those programs. That would include Social Security. She has repeatedly embraced the idea of raising the retirement age, and she has said that we should privatize Social Security. That would put Social Security on the chopping block, and that's something that we should not allow. This is inconsistent with New Hampshire's way of doing business.
Ms. Tang Williams, 30 seconds.
Right now,
Now, wait a second. Remember, Lily Chang said that there should be a lockbox. Social Security should be protected, and the government should never touch it. It shouldn't be a slush fund. I agree. But what did Maggie do? Maggie blames wealthy people needs to pay more of their fair share for Social Security. Oh my God, guys! So according to now, this is what my little brain is figuring out, that the liberal left wants the wealthy just to pay for everything. We just get a free ride. That's what it sounds like. They don't pay their fair share. Let's regulate the shit out of them so they leave the country, build their plants in other countries. But yet we want to still run them out of the country and make them pay more taxes on top of that. What? It's absurd. It's absurd.
We have a common ground. We want to protect Social Security, except we disagree on one thing. Should the federal government stick its fingers into Social Security cookie jar and get caught, and constantly use it as slush fund, and constantly get other people move on to Social Security, SSI, and to get benefits when have not paying to benefits? Our senior citizens deserve better. And if you are not part of the Biden administration, open border policies, maybe we shouldn't have so many illegals coming in and draining our financial resources in this country. And
Ms. Tang Williams.
financial
Oh, yeah, because Maggie, I should have brought that up, too. And thank you, Lily, for bringing that to my attention. Maggie never addressed the problem of the illegals coming in and getting on these programs. Go, Lily. Go, Lily. Vote for Lily.
incentives are given to those
30
people
seconds to Ms.
coming
Goodlander.
here.
I'm not really sure what you mean by all of that, but I would just say this. You are on record.
You're not sure about what she said? I am. And I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. What's wrong with you? Let's hear her dance. Let's see her dance.
Your positions on the issue of Social Security are a matter of public record, and you should be accountable for those positions. And those positions are completely at odds with the way that I think about what Congress needs to do to protect and to strengthen Social Security.
Let's turn to the issue of immigration. Ms. Goodlander, the number of immigrants.
Wow. You know, Maggie seems like she's soft-spoken. She has a sweet voice. She's pleasant to look at, but she is gobbledygoo. Most liberal women are not very attractive. I said it. It's not a big secret. Lily, I think, is just crushing her. Crushing her. And I hope New Hampshire is tired of the BS.
In the U.S. illegally is estimated to be more than 11 million. When asked about immigration, you said the system is outdated, overburdened, and underfunded, and you want to find solutions to upgrading immigration laws. But what about all of the undocumented people who are already here? Do you support a significant deportation effort while working to change immigration laws?
I mean, that they're always saying stuff like that. We need a comprehensive bill to address the immigration problem. Build a border. Stop the blood from flowing. Stop the bleeding. Then address the problems that your administration has plagued upon us. Stop the bleeding. Build the wall. Then we'll deal with getting them out. Then we can deal with slowly processing them. It's not the fact that we need more judges or we need to pass a stupid bill. It's always a comprehensive bill. And look, when they try to do these bills, they pile a bunch of other stupid crap in it. And I think they need to stop doing that. A bill should be a bill based on one thing, not like it's like a 900-page bill that just addresses the issue that they're voting on. But then they have all this other crap in it, this other special interest crap. I think that needs to be outlawed. There needs to be a bill on that bill. Like, we got to vote on what we're voting on, not this other crap. Anyway, I have spoken. Let's see what Maggie has to say about the illegals flooding into the country and about her administration allowing it.
Look, this is an issue that I've dedicated a lot of my life to. I was really proud to work for Senator John McCain 11 years ago when he led a bipartisan effort together with Senator Chuck Schumer to take a hard look at our immigration laws and at our
Chuck you, Schumer.
border security and to update those laws and ensure that we're properly funding the system. We are a nation of immigrants, and I'm living proof of that. My family has been able to live the American dream because when my great-grandfather came here more than 100 years ago to Nashua, we had immigration laws on the books that allowed us to have the country that lives under the rule of law as we all want to see happen. So what I'd say about this, Adam, is we have right now, because in part of the work that we did 11 years ago to come up with a bipartisan solution to updating our immigration laws and our border security, we have a bipartisan bill that President Biden was eager to sign into law. It's a bill that was endorsed by our Border Patrol because it would have properly funded Border Patrol agents. It's a bill that was endorsed by the Chamber of Commerce. And it's in part, I think, because it would properly fund our asylum system and our immigration courts, which I saw firsthand at the Justice Department have been chronically underfunded.
To the question, do you need to...
Well, the thing is that also in that bill, they want to blanketly give amnesty to all these people. There was a reason why it didn't get passed. And plus, we don't need a bill. Get the military back down there just like Trump did. He used the military. He's your commander-in-chief. Stop the bleeding.
to see deportations, though, as part of this deal.
Adam, I believe that we should advance the bipartisan bill that the president wants to sign into law and that my opponent has opposed. And for one reason she's opposed it. It's because Donald Trump decided it was in his personal interest to stand in between the American people and the immigration reform that we all deserve.
Ms. Tang Williams, 30 seconds, then we have an
That has been the biggest lie, probably of the campaign. Look, you can't blame Trump for the border. You can't. It's the Biden and Harris policy. They just opened the floodgates, and here everybody came. And we've had murders, heinous crimes, because of them. And look, she said her family came over. Back then, we were still building the country. They had a lot of Chinese coming over. How do you think we got Chinese food? They were using whatever they could. They were a lot of them were cooks, and a lot of them were working on the railroads, laying down the tracks. There was a time where we needed more workers and things, and then they eventually made them citizens. But look, she lives in $1 million home. She does not. And she's probably been wealthy her whole life ever since she's been born. And that's fine. I do not have wealth envy. What I do have is you are not in touch with principles, values of normal people in America. You want open borders. You want the government to continue to get bloated because you're a lib. And that's what they do. That is what they do.
immigration question for you.
Maggie is trained very well to not answer questions directly and repeat her party's talking points and not offer solutions to the reality. This is a big issue that the granite legislators are concerned with. Ever since Biden became president, he's the one who uses pen, reversed the previous President Trump's border policies, and enabled 11 million illegals in this country with taxpayers' incentives and funding for factoring cities and cost crime range. You should be responsible. You should not even run for Congress because you are part of that regime who caused this problem. Now you offer bigger government solution, more money. You don't need more money. You need to use his pen to reverse
30 seconds, Ms.
executive orders.
30 seconds.
Oh my God, that was brilliant. Biden's pen did this. Oh my God. Guys, that was awesome. Awesome. My God. She just fired her up with facts, baby. With facts.
Again, my opponent is focused on me. I am focused on the voters and on actual solutions that I believe Congress can and must advance. And one of those solutions, Adam, is the bipartisan, comprehensive immigration reform and border security bill that would allow us to make the critically needed updates to our system that would allow us to not have to even entertain hypotheticals about these dramatic proposals that have been put on the table by politicians who want to sow chaos and not solve problems.
Ms. Tang Williams, let's
look, I think Lily's doing both. She's addressing the problems that we're having in America, and she is attacking her simultaneously because it is one and the same. One and the same. And I think Lily has done a brilliant job of just hammering it home. Like, your party has done this. You are out of touch with normal people because you do own $1 million home. You tell people you go rent a house, which I wanted to hear more of that. Maybe we are in the next part. But yeah, I think she's done a phenomenal job hammering the issues and pointing out that they're hypocrites. She's a hypocrite.
Let's get a question to you on immigration that you should answer here. You know, you said that border security is a top issue. You just said that now, and you support efforts to make sure that people coming to the U.S. are doing so legally. The top priority, of course, of an incoming Trump administration will be mass deportations. He said that repeatedly. Now, you're an advocate for human liberty. If this policy gets implemented on an expedited basis, are you okay with federal agents or National Guard's troops being deployed domestically, going door to door in certain neighborhoods to round up undocumented immigrants?
Well, I'm a legal immigrant. I came here right away. It took me 6.5 years to become citizen. My brother waited in China for 13 years, come here, and he could be here earlier if we had a streamlined process. It is a slap in the face to all the legal immigrants who are still waiting in line all over the world with American sponsors. And some of them have been waiting for over 10 years. What kind of message do we want to send to the world? If you follow the law, we're going to punish you. And if you come here illegally, we can give you quick pass to citizenship. I support deport all the illegal aliens who committed crime immediately. If we take over the White House and the U.S. Congress, and for the people who come here have not committed crime, and it's up to the red state. Red state can say, let's deport them from red state first. Then for the people who really want to become American citizens and got adopted by American citizens as sponsors, then there's some, I'm open to talk about that human way. If you take a welfare away, some people would self-deport. You'll be peacefully self-deport with the transportation help.
Yeah.
Ms. Tang Williams, thank you. Next question from Ariel.
That was a good point. You take this stuff away from them, they might just self-deport. But, if they've got friends, they can stay. And some businesses, some states have, you can get in trouble for hiring illegals. So there could be a lot of sanctions put on illegals to make it tough and hard for them to be able to function in society. And they could self-deport and then get on the list to become a citizen. I agree with her. I agree with Lily. She did it the right way. And what does it say to these people who have been waiting, who go through the process legally? It's just a slap in the face to them that these people coming in from the back end, putting them forward. Kamala Harris waves a wand and wanting them to give them a fast track to citizenship. It's not right, and it's hurting us.
Metropolis.
Another important topic for many voters is abortion. Ms. Tang Williams, to you first on this one. You've said that decisions on abortion should be left up to the states. But as a candidate with libertarian roots, why should any government, including at the state level, be able to decide whether and when a woman can have an abortion?
I do believe it is state issue. I have said that repeatedly, and my opponent lies about me. I will not vote at the federal level to ban abortion. Actually, I did say before, I'm very sympathetic towards both lives are involved on this issue. It is not about healthcare choice. You know why? Because there are two lives. If a baby can exist outside the mother's body, why do you want to act like a communist China to kill that baby? Are we the country who value human life and who value a woman also who needs help, who wants to choose but needs help? I think it's a state issue. I respect our state decision through the largest representative government in our country. And then right now we have legal abortion, safe abortion up to 6 months. And that's the people decided through their representatives. And Maggie does not believe people in New Hampshire have a right to decide that. But her top issue is protect democracy. Is that DC democracy or New Hampshire granted status democracy?
30.
Oh my gosh. She said, what are you, communist China? Murdering children, having the decision to do that? Man, she is fire. She is gold, ladies and gentlemen. She is gold. Man, Lily Williams for president. She'd make a better president than Kamala Harris.
30 seconds, Ms. Goodlander.
Look, my view on this is completely at odds with my opponent.
Obviously.
I think that the Supreme Court's decision 2 years ago, reversing Roe v. Wade, ripped away a fundamental right that is so core to gender equality in this country. And my view is that women can be trusted and must be trusted to make their own health care decisions, that there is no place for a politician or a judge when a woman is trying to make some of the most difficult healthcare decisions that she could make. And the reason I believe this is we are seeing the consequences of the Supreme Court's decision every single day. We are seeing this has literally become a matter of life and death for women who are unable to get the health care they need because their doctors are fearful of being prosecuted.
That is the biggest lie, and that's what's it just upsets me. It's not about life and death. The states can go vote on it. It's such a minute percentage. Look, we had 1 million abortions last year. 1 million, people. Which is heinous and disgusting and disturbing. 1 million. Now, just think for yourself for 1 minute. Out of 1 million abortions, how many of those do you think that the mother's life was in danger? 1.01%? How many of those in that 1 million do you think was from RAPE? Again, it's so minute. So this is the lie that's been perpetrated upon young women for decades. It's a lie. They're using it for birth control. And why do you want to kill so many babies? Why are you for this? It just gets on my nerves because it's a lie. Think about it logically. Out of 1 million aborted babies last year, what is the percentile of them with the mother's life in danger? It's probably not even enough to register on the Richter scale of a percentile. It's so minute. And that's what they're claiming. Oh, women are going to die. They're just going to die if they can't get an abortion. Good Lord. It's ridiculous.
The question now to you on abortion from Ariel Metropolis.
Sure. Ms. Goodlander, you've said that the government should have no role in reproductive decisions. But does that mean that selective abortions should be allowed in the third trimester and that there should be absolutely no recognition of when a fetus might be viable?
Ariel, I know from my own experience, both my professional experience working at the Department of Justice and serving as a law clerk on the United States Supreme Court to Justice Stephen Breyer, who wrote the dissenting opinion in the Dobbs decision, dissenting when Roe v. Wade was overturned. I know from this experience that these lines are lines that are very hard to draw. They are lines that have been drawn in ways that have led to people losing their lives. I know from my own personal experience that when you're trying to navigate these kinds of healthcare decisions, last year I was 20 weeks pregnant and we lost our son. I struggled to access the health care I needed, in part because of the backlog that we're seeing across this country as a direct result of the Supreme Court's decision in Dobbs. I ultimately got access to that care, but it was delayed, and I was forced to manage a stillbirth on my own. I was lucky because I got the health care I needed. Women every single day in this country are denied that care.
Oh, yeah, I was fixing to say, I guarantee you this woman has the best health care money can buy. And I was waiting for her to say. So she starts out saying, oh, yeah, it sounded like she's saying she had the abortion on her own, but then she got the health care she needed. See, y'all, let's pay attention, read between the lines. This is smoke and mirrors. This woman lives in over $1 million, $2 million home, and you're going to tell me she couldn't find the health care she needed? And look, and as far as abortion's concerned, guys, they want to exterminate the unfit, which is all of us peasants. Not the elitists, not the most intelligent of us, but no, the common folk peasants are the unfit ones that need to be sterilized. There you go. I said it. That's what they want. But yeah, she's full of shit. She is full of it. How she danced around that, or started to say that she was going to have this miscarriage on her own, and then she said she finally got the help she needed. But what are people hearing? The first thing they're hearing, oh, she didn't get the health care she wanted. Oh no. Bullshit. That is some bullshit.
leading to deaths. This is not the America that we should be living in. And the fight to restore reproductive freedom and to make sure that we are all protected in our rights to have control of our own bodies is a fight that begins in Congress.
We've hit the halfway point of this debate. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us.
It's the lie. It's the big lie, and it's very frustrating to say that these women are gonna die. It's all about life and death. Oh no, that's not true. It is not true. All right. I do want to watch the rest of that, but I'm going to do a part 2 of this, and we'll upload this, and if you guys like it, I was gold. It was super gold. It was awesome.